All right, hello everyone, and welcome to your reading for the full moon in Cancer on the 17th of January, 18th in the Southern Hemisphere. I am really excited to have a full moon in Cancer, especially so early in the year. Cancers are our nurturers, they are our soft interiors, and those of us who are cancers or who have cancer in our sign, you know this feeling of deep care and of really surveying the group and really picking up on the subtle energies of the group. And is everybody feeling okay? Or what can I do to help? Or how can I expand myself to assist others? And it's not all about service, but it really is about feeling that subtle energy that is around you and is around the room. And, for some of us in COVID's world, that is really intense and that can be really overwhelming. So a big message that's coming in for this whole month really is really the importance. And I know a lot of us healers and spiritual practitioners have said this before, but making self-care your first priority, making that 15 minutes of stretching in the morning, or that walk before breakfast, or going to the gym, or reading a book on Sunday, or scheduling in time so that you are resting. This is going to be essential to helping you thrive and create the life that you want and create more ease moving into 2022. Because there is quite a lot of relief that's available to us in 2022, but we've got to cultivate it. And what better time to do that than in the winter months, especially for those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, in the winter months when things are slower and things are quieter. Before I pull my first card, I just got a strong channel before I turned the video on here, that this full moon is also this full moon is also going to sort of largely be about this theme of recovery. And the image that I'm getting shown is sort of like recovery after a fumble. So, you've been tossed the football, or you've been tossed the ball or whatever, and you drop it and you fumble it, and you're chasing the ball around and you're trying to pick it back up. But you do recover it, and you are able to keep going. And the word association that my guides are giving me here is like a near miss. There could be a moment where you feel that you've really screwed everything up, and especially with cancers, they're really prone to this all or nothing thinking of, I screwed it up, it's the end of the world, nothing's ever going to be okay again, I've ruined my future, everything is wrong. And this full moon theme of recovery is really asking us to come into this idea and come home to this idea that we can trip and we can make mistakes and we can catch ourselves and we can continue, and most of the time nobody's going to notice. So allowing recovery, maybe that means mental health recovery or spiritual recovery or physical health recovery, getting back on track, whatever your track looks like. But allowing that to be a word that sort of floats around your brain and your heart space as we move into this full moon on the 17th. So I'm going to pull our first card here. I'm back to using my old deck. Okay, yeah, this is, a lot of you are going to know, like right off the bat, that this is you. So this also might be somebody that you know in your life. So the card says, White Witch, be the light. And primarily this, there we go. This card is really, it's representational of beginnings. It's representational of embarking on a type of journey. And a lot of you, and I can feel it, it's palpable in the collective, a lot of you are making time for yourselves, and you're sort of creating this opportunity to say, you know what, I know who I have been, and I know who I was in the past, and I don't want to be like that anymore. And I don't want to be the person who loses myself in my relationship, or I don't want to be the person who gets pushed around by others, or I don't want to be the person who always puts everyone else before myself. This heralding card, this sort of young witch, powerful woman who is still in her maiden phase of her life, is embarking on this new journey of recognizing that there are things past the glass ceiling, and there are things past the height that we've told ourselves we can get to. And so for some of us, that's going to be about thinking outside the box or beyond the horizons that we've allowed ourselves to dream in. Can we dream bigger? Can we be more ridiculous with our dreams? Can we be more ridiculous with our desires and try and go higher and farther than we ever have before? In a sustainable way, not in a way that's pushing us to our fringes, but in a way that is daring and courageous and, perhaps a little ignorant, purposefully ignorant to the distractions that are outside of us. This young maiden, she has her guides with her and she has her adornments of nature, but she doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles, and she doesn't have a huge sort of cacophony of sound or things or distractions around her that create this sort of ambiance. You don't need an entourage to create magic or to have huge impact. So allow yourself to wonder what it would be like if you were at the beginning of an adventure or a journey, and where would you be going. You can use that as a journal exercise. It might be helpful, but there is seriously a very big new beginning on the verge here. I'm just gonna tune in for a second. Okay, this is always difficult for me, this channel that I just got through, but the words that are coming in and that my guides are sort of flashing at me like a sign are the words fast, fast, slow. And, it can feel like we are, or it may feel, especially as we come up to this full moon, like we're running as fast as we can. And it's sort of like a hurry up and wait feeling where, we are training every day and we're working really hard at what we want to do, or we're writing in our journal every day, or we're drinking tea at night instead of alcohol every night this month, and we're sort of on this great track, and then all of a sudden there's a halt. And that's reflective in the larger world right now, the larger global shifts and the larger global population. COVID is making things slow, and the way that people's lives are changing is slow. This is a slow global shift. So the key here with this fast, fast, slow is to recognize when you're feeling like you're being pushed from behind and sort of rushed into this sense of urgency of, okay, I need to speed up, I need to go faster. If I don't go fast, I'm going to miss it. If I don't rush, I'm not going to get my opportunity. And to push back or lean back against that pressure. And so when we feel that push of, okay, I really need to go fast, can we lean back to create balance? And then when we feel this slowness and this haltingness, I mentioned this in my energy forecast, but where can we find sort of like a trap door to escape beyond that slowness, beyond that stagnance? Where can we, okay, school's been shut down again, maybe I'll keep practicing this instrument that I'm learning, or my project got switched around on me because of COVID, and now I'm going to spend this time working on something that I've been developing myself. Giving ourselves the opportunity to create, sort of like stick it to the situation, but in a loving way. Cancers are loving and they're very, very tender. So when you feel the fast, lean back into that to create balance. And when you feel the slow, where can you find an alternative? Okay, I'm going to pull two at once. This is feeling like a duality type situation. Interesting. Okay, so we've got our fire guardian here that came up upright, and then we've got our beautiful stargazer that's not quite in focus yet, but there we go. And that came in reverse. There we go. like that. So this is what we are dealing with. And again, what's coming through here, I mean, I've said this before, I've said this in my energy forecast, and other amazing astrologers, Pam Gregory, Brecca Goldsmith, those women, if you look them up on YouTube, they're incredibly talented astrologers. And there has been this sort of common mention that 2022 will bring balance. Bug swatting. But there is still going to be this polarized push-pull of, I really want to do what makes me happy, and I really want to bring my passions into my daily life, but I feel like they're not getting me far enough. I feel like I'm either not worthy of these passions taking me as far as I can, or you just don't feel like it's going to happen. You know, there's sort of this idea that like, okay, like I know my passions are here. Let's use being a photographer as an example. I know I'm an incredible photographer. I know I'm talented. I know people really love my work. I know I have something that's slightly unique, or I know that it feels unique. It feels really good to me, but there's no way I'll ever make a living from it. You know, Right Side Up, the Stargazer is all about how can we go higher? How can we jump really for the stars? Reaching for the moon, that sort of like bigger thinking and bigger dreaming. But in reverse, there's this sort of chain that we've placed on ourselves of belief that there's no way I'm going to make that. You know, there's no way I'm going to turn my art into a career. And so be mindful of that thinking process that comes in, because the full moon is a wonderful opportunity to, I always say, like, set your annoyances and set your issues free. And so in the full moon, we have this opportunity to put an intention and sort of put this larger thing that we have been growing, whether it's a negative or a positive thing, and we have the chance to release it into the energy of the full moon and put it up to the sky, put it away from ourselves. And so with this full moon in Cancer coming up, being mindful of where we are limiting ourselves by believing that our passions can't take us any further. And this really is something that is going to be a heart over mind situation. You know, every time you might have totally rational reasons for why what you want to do is never going to work. But I will tell you that, I mean, many of the successful people, and I imagine most or all of the successful people that have really made it in their passions in life, were told by many other people that it was never going to happen for them. And so bringing it back to that white witch and bringing it back to this element of daring, you know, dare to push your thinking beyond what you thought possible. Prepare to break that framework and drop into your heart space, because your passions will fuel you with a more holistic energy that will last longer than the outdated thinking process. So drop into the heart, you know, channel the tenderness of Cancer, drop into the heart, even if it's something as small and embarrassing as in your mind or out loud at home saying, I know I can do this, I know I can do this, I know I can do this, over and over and over again, even if you don't believe it. Making the effort to verbalize the opposite of what your mind is telling you is going to create a cognitive shift, and that will allow you to access your heart. It will allow you to use the energy of your heart more efficiently, and it will allow you to genuinely change that quality of energy that you're operating in, so that you can break your glass ceiling and you can achieve the dreams that maybe a few other people were just too scared to believe were possible. So that is all I have for you today. If you would like a private reading, please feel free to DM me on Instagram. I am taking bookings. I'm back in Canada before the full moon on Wednesday, so I am taking bookings in once I arrive home. And as well, if you like my work and you would like to support me further, I am offering donations, or offering the option to submit a donation through PayPal. I will post it on this post on Instagram in the description, as well as in the description box on YouTube. I am super, super grateful for the people who are supporting me so far, and I would love to be able to do this more often and more holistically and more fully. I am offering a 6-week Dark Goddess course that will launch in February. I'm almost done all the advertising, Canva, whatnot for that, so that'll come up soon. But I'm offering a 6-week group program focusing on the Dark Goddess. I offer one-to-one private mentorship and sort of private tools, magical tools and spiritual tools sort of building, because I know there are so many of you out there that are meant to be healers and you're meant to be helping people, and it's just a matter of really stepping into your power and knowing how to use the skills and the gifts that you've got to your own benefit. So if you would like to support my work and like to support my readings, please feel free to drop a donation of any amount to my PayPal in the description box below. Much, much love to you all. Blessings, and I hope you have a wonderful full moon in Cancer. Blessed be.